Yep. Because my underwear is kind of like right here.
I just want to put them on real quick.
No, it's too much work.
Yeah,
it's way too much work. Why would I put pants on when I can put them on? You know what I mean?
What did I just sit on? I just broke the glasses.
Oh, he totally just broke my glasses.
Why are they? Oh no, I broke mine too. Why is it underneath this?
Damn it!
Nice. Oh yeah, heat waves.
The thing shouldn't have been down.
Huh?
Oh, it must have blew down with the wind. Did they actually break or did they just pop off? They definitely probably broke because they were pretty broken before. Alright guys, so it's the next day with this truck. This is Dad's C10. Kind of doing the same thing, just clean it up, probably selling it. So we're gonna run through a little bit of project with this thing. So we just went out and drove it the next day. But I'm gonna show you guys the front suspension on this thing, which I gotta do a little bit of modification with. But keep in mind, what you're looking at has been done over 10 years ago by someone else, and it does drive very, very good. This thing's on rails. You can see kind of how the strut mount comes off the side of the frame and then kind of kicks up. So it's basically just welded to the side of the frame and then kind of just goes up at an angle. There's no structural support because there's no strut tower in this like a Fox body would have had. The first thing we're gonna be tackling is the C-notch in the back of the frame. So I'm gonna show you guys, if you didn't miss that, if you missed that on when I did it on my truck, I'll put the card up down in the description. You can also go watch that, how I did it on my F100. Same thing, we're gonna do a little pipe cut in half. You ain't gonna break you're not breaking my Harbor Freight special.
Grab that one. Harbor Freight. No, I'm talking about my.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
You want to see if it's going to move it?
You know, Harbor Freight sockets are Ogadoga rated. It's going to come off, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Oh, called it. I'm just that good. Hey, stupid, you took out the wrong bolt.
You told me to take that one out.
I don't... You can't... Okay, take it out then.
Okay. Stupid, you put the socket on it.
To see if it was the right size. Alright, now give
what
me
size you need?
Universal size. That's what size I need. One size fits all. Fun fact, these are hammer rated.
I don't know what that one is. Well, apparently it is.
Can you not turn with it though? Okay, so you wanted me to show you how these drive shaft bolts are.
They're nice and tight.
Are they?
Yeah, you want to see?
Yep.
I have not touched this bolt.
After doing a burnout, you broke them loose. Good job.
Perfect.
Okay, so. Alright, so before we actually take the rear end out of this thing, we want to mark our center line. So what I'm doing is just taking a straight edge, putting it up to the axle. This is at basically bump. It's not going to cycle any more than that because that shackle is vertical. So it's not really going to pull it any further back. Plus the spring's about flat, so it might move maybe 1/4 inch max back this way. So I marked my center line. It's really hard to film this, sorry. So basically I went to the middle of the axle up and drew a center line. This isn't the original axle and these are not the original leaf springs, and so that is why it's not perfectly center. But you need to do this to make sure that when it cycles, it's not going to move all crazy. Go ahead and let the jack down just to kind of show you. It'll actually move. This is why we did it when it was compressed, because when it droops out, it'll actually, the axle kind of moves forward a little bit. Once it actually starts coming out, you can see it's starting to go to the left. Yeah, so you can see it's not in line with that anymore. So I just wanted to make sure. So now I can go ahead and take my template, which I got here. This is actually off my F100. The frame's a little bit different, but basically, sick. Okay, so basically what this will allow me to do is line the center of that up. And I can go ahead and draw my line, and that's the exact shape of the pipe I got, which is the 5-inch pipe. And I can go ahead and cut that out. With a plasma cutter or a torch would be nice. I don't have that, so I'm going to cut it out with a grinder. So we're going to go ahead and pull this rear axle out, get it up a little bit higher in the air, go ahead and cut all this stuff out. So you dance in life, heavy smoke. Have you fixed that treasured heart that's all broke? Here is the tape, follow me, give this a meaning. Alright, so we've got the rear end out of the truck. Everything's kind of out of the way. So what I'm doing now is I have a template, so I'm going to pretend I don't have this. So if you don't have this, as you can see, this is where it lines up. The top of the frame is the same on these trucks. Mine is made off of a 71 short bed F100, which is my truck. This is a 61. So the frames aren't obviously the same. As you can see, the bottom's not the same. Mine arcs differently. I think I made this on the passenger side, I can't remember. But anyways, this is a 5-inch diameter pipe all the way across. I don't know what the wall thickness is, but oh, it's 5.5. 5.5, my bad. And the wall thickness is 1/4 inch. So 5.5 inch pipe, 1/4 inch, 5.5 OD, 1/4 inch wall thickness is the pipe that we're using. A little bit thick, you don't need to go this thick at all. That's just what they had. So what I did, as you can see, there's a line on the center on both sides. So that's our halfway mark, so you pretty much just lay this out with a straight edge underneath it. So basically if you wanted to draw this line, you would lay it on a bench with a straight edge across it, and that would be where your lines are, halfway up. And then that's how I drew those. You can take both your lines, line them up on the bottom here in the frame on both sides, and then that'll give you your perfect line, which as you can see, if I take this off, that's where it is. It's not centered in this spot on the frame. Normally on a stock frame, if you have a bone stock truck, these little dimples in the frame are going to be pretty much where the axle sits in the center. You're obviously going to want to check it at ride height before you take the truck apart. But ours obviously doesn't have stock leaves, doesn't have stock shackles. You can see these amazing things down here, whatever those are. Those aren't obviously stock, so the whole thing's different. So I measured it, and this is where it sits, so that's where we're gonna cut it. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and just cut this out. This is the part that sucks because you have to cut down and across, and then I don't have a plasma cutter, so if you had a plasma cutter, you'd literally just hold this up and draw it out like a big semicircle. But what I gotta do is cut a bunch of vertical lines all over, cut a bunch of tiny horizontal lines, and then hit them out with a hammer, and it takes forever. And I blew a grinding wheel up the last time I did it. I cut my arm. Luckily I didn't have to go to the hospital because it grabbed my jacket and not my arm, although I have a big scar from it because it scuffed my arm pretty good. But I'm gonna get to that. I'm taking the bump stops off. I'm gonna cut this out, and we'll mock the pipe up in there, tack it in there, we'll get going.
Having fun yet?
Always. God, I hate doing this part. I don't have a plasma cutter. Alright guys, so I had Marty go ahead and cut this in half, clean it up. It's the same pipe we started with. You can see I got the whole frame cut out. Like I said, it's not center, but you can see it matches up with the other side pretty well. The other side I haven't cleaned yet, but it should line up pretty good. Everything seems like it fits. You can see I leave myself a little bit of a lip up on the top so I can weld to it. And same on the other side. Film. I don't know what you guys can and can't see, but pretty much the same width as the frame. And then we'll go ahead and we'll box it in on the other side when I get the chance. But I'm gonna go ahead and start welding this thing in and see how it comes out. Okay, so just finished the boxing plate right here. That was kind of funny. This one came out actually better than the one on my own personal F100. Ones are pretty good. It'll even focus. Doesn't seem like it wants to focus there, I guess. All the way around looks pretty decent. But working with what I got, I have a tiny little welder. It's not really having it right now, but you can see everything's nice and straight. Everything's in there. Welds look pretty good. Happy with that. Good enough. You know, this truck isn't a race truck. I honestly don't even think we really need to box the back of this frame, considering it's just a long bed. I guess it's driven around like daily on the street, but I might just do it anyways, considering we already have the metal for it over there. So, alright, well in that case we'll probably just mock up the backing end plate and then we'll clean the frame and box it in. Dang, I'd say that looks pretty good, huh? Pitment. I mean, this isn't as low as it's gonna be. It's really gonna be, as nice as that would be, realistically, probably be about, right about there maybe. I was thinking in the Photoshop rendering we did, yeah, probably about at the top of the rim is where the fenders will sit. You know, we can adjust it by doing blocks, but yeah, you guys can see if I go through here, the wheel's a hair forward. It's really going to be like this. It just doesn't balance on the jack. It'll be perfectly lined up with our C-notch. You can see why we do this now, as if I'm level. You know, it's giving me, now I have like another 3-4 inches before I would hit the actual part of the frame, which is nice. So it looks really good too. Over here it's pretty good stance. I like how that looks. You know, this is not crazy aggressive, but dang dude, that's way better than what it was. Oh my god. That's probably about a 4-inch drop, but we still got to get some lowering blocks to put in there because it's already axle flip technically, but the predicament that we had was this spring perch mount being moved down like 4 inches. I think they did that because of the pinion angle of the rear end. So in reality, if we were gonna, because I was gonna just cut those off and bolt them back into their stock location, but that would actually make our pinion angle like face the ground, and so I'd have to cut these off and relocate it. And I'm only here for a week, so that's just gonna take way too long, and we still have to do the whole front of the truck. So what we're gonna do is just probably, since there's no block, we'll put like a 2 or 3 inch lowering block in and just call it a day, considering it's not a crazy fast truck and it has a lot of leaf springs in it, so it's not like it's gonna axle wrap at all. But definitely liking how that's gonna look. You got your plate done?
Yeah, it just needs to be sanded down and cleaned up.
Did it fit?
It's close. It's just right here because of how the cutting wheel was, it tapered it.
Okay.
So I just need to smooth it all out with the grinding wheel, but it will fit in here.
Sweet. So he's working on the one plate to box in the frame. I'm gonna cut out the other one and get this thing welded in. All right. Okay, so I just got this one cut out. I'm already cut the other one out. You can see it's really tight in there actually. Like it doesn't even move.
It's a good fit.
So I'm trying to get it enough to where I can have a ridge all the way around on the top and bottom to weld on. And then I need to take, well of course I need to take it back out to clean it because all this is all dirty. But really happy with that came out. So you can just see it's literally just the notch with just a simple box on the back. It's only probably 10 inches wide and gives it just enough bracing to work. So this is 120. We went thinner. I use 3/16 on my F100. This is 1/4 inch. This stuff's super thick. You don't even need to go this thick. That's just what I had. But this is 120. You don't need to go anything more than that. If you're just doing a street driving truck, if you're one of those guys that beat the absolute crud out of your truck, you might want to do 1/8 inch or maybe even 3/16. This, I believe the stock frames are 1/8 inch is what I believe they were from the factory. So I did 3/16 on my frame to be thicker. I don't know why, but there's a bunch of different ways you can go. This is 120. This is strong enough. This is a long bed. This is just a driver. I just want to add some support while we're down here. So I'm pretty much going to go ahead and just pop this guy back out. I'll take my air sander. I'll sand this all down from the top and bottoms here. We'll go ahead and we'll weld through it, and we'll have a nice boxed in piece. We can run wires through it and anything else. So.
All right, let's get to it.
Yep. that piece all pretty much perfect. I'm actually really happy with the way that came out. I like how I'm doing a better job on Marty's truck that he's probably selling than I did on my own F100.
Give me a second.
Dude, these things are beautiful.
There you go. It's hot.
It is very hot.
It's like what, 105?
Probably.
Probably something about that.
Oh, this ought to be entertaining. Okay, pugs. Ride or die. Oh my god. Yeah, it looks a lot better. I just want to... Nice. Oh, you scratched it.
Not done fit for shit.
What?
Wait.
What do you mean? I was about to be like, hammer it.
A little bit off the top.
Damn it! No. Where is it?
A little bit right here.
Hit it with the thing.
What?
You
think that's gonna go in?
What do you mean? Why wouldn't it? Yeah, it'll go in. Hit it. Just give her a good ooga dooga with the old thingy majigger.
The top of ooga dooga?
Yeah, just give her a good thumper. Oh no, look, it'll go in. Yeah, just
Damn.
just give her a good old yeet. Alright guys, so it's all done. It's all boxed in on the other side, and I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. You guys can see I did this one too. Really kind of hard to see it, but you get the point. So that looks really good. We'll be able to go ahead and lower the truck with that. So we'll bolt that in later in the video, but I figured I'm gonna get a lot of comments on this, so I might as well show you guys what suspension's under the front of this truck, because as you can see, there's control arms. So everyone's probably like, "Ooh, is that Crown Vic swapped?" Or no, it's not. So this is a very weird swap. I believe this thing was done in like the 90s or 2000s, because it's got a Chrysler tank. It's got a Chrysler fuel tank in it. It's got an F-150 rear end. It's got Fox body front suspension under it with strut, so it's got a McPherson strut. And what was the other one? Oh, it's got Cadillac seats in it. So it's a little bit weird, but I think this was done before the Crown Vic swaps were really known. So I think someone just wanted to get rid of the straight axle and put control arms on it. So what they did is somebody actually integrated the coil bucket into the frame. So you can see they cut the bottom half of the frame off to put this in. So it's a little bit weird. I don't think I would have done this. And then this really nasty strut mount. So as you can see, you can kind of see what I'm doing. Is since it still uses a coil spring, so all the way to the truck is on the coil spring. I'm gonna be welding a little 2.5 inch section off the side of the frame, and then do a perpendicular weld on a tube up to it, kind of like off-road trucks use with a shock hoop. So it's basically what I'm using, and I'm just getting some more dimensions of support off of this, because we don't have the time to go ahead and cut this off. If someone who buys this from Marty wants to redo it, then they can. Anyways, I just want to give this a little more support. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is cut those tubes out, mock it all up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when we're ready to weld this thing. Oh god, it's like 105 of them. Sucks. So, just got the, I believe they're called Fifis. That's what we called them in my shop. So I think a little Fifi tab piece welded on. But got those on. Those look pretty good. Pretty happy with the way those came out. Going on the other side here. So basically from there, I'll be able to just, we don't have a bender, and we're very limited on tools, as you can see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just notch the tube to fit on this and notch it to fit here. It's gonna be like a kind of a weird notch, but I'll weld the tube here to here, and that'll just be it. So it'll just be a little strut brace. I was gonna do like a strut tower bar, a Monte Carlo bar originally, which is what this little 1x1 tube is right here, the round tube. We did a hole here just so you could access the strut adjustment piece, because they put it in without actually like making any sort of access panel, so you can't adjust the strut at all, which is kind of weird. So we'll make a little plate to go over that. But I was gonna have a tube come out right about here, and then I was gonna go down to just a 1x1, and I was gonna go straight across the engine all the way across, and then go back triangulated to the firewall. But I don't think we need that because the strut itself does not support the whole weight of the vehicle. Coil does, so it's the bucket's doing most of the work here. But I'm really happy with the way that came out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those tubes notched in here, welded in here, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so I've got this mocked up. Kind of see visually how it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna have to basically, I'll draw a line of kind of a rough shape. I'm gonna have to notch this. I don't have a notcher, so I don't even have an angle grinder or any sort of, or I have an angle grinder, not like I don't have a bench grinder or anything, so I can't like put a rock wheel and try to notch it that way. That's a pretty easy way to notch tubes with a round, you know, rock wheel there. But basically I'm just gonna have to do a flat cut right here, probably about a 45-degree cut on that, which I'll probably just do with a chop saw again. And then I'll just take a grinder or the flap disc and just keep notching it and just weaving it until it fits. So I'm gonna get both these tubes to fit, mock them up, and go ahead and weld these things on. All right, got my tubes all mocked up. Keep in mind I'm not a fabricator, just do this for fun. This one came out pretty good, pretty happy with the notch, because all I have is a grinder. Same with the one over here. This one, it's a little bit loose, but you can see it kind of go into, got a little tiny gap right here, but nothing crazy. I'll be able to fill that. But yeah, pretty happy with this came out. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this sucker up, finish both sides, and just kind of come back when it's all done. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty long video by now. Oh God, you laid the black hose on my knee, dick. God, that's hot. Go in. All right. Give me those pants. Right. I should put them over your legs. Yep. Because my underwear is kind of like right here.
I just want to put them on real quick.
No, it's too much work. Yeah, way too much work. Why would I put pants on when I can put them on? You know what I mean?
What did I just sit on? I just broke the glasses.
Oh, you totally just broke my glasses.
Why are they? Oh no, I broke mine too. Why is it underneath this?
Damn it!
Nice. Oh yeah, heat waves.
The thing shouldn't have been down.
Huh?
Oh, it must have blew down with the wind. Did they actually break or did they just pop off? They definitely probably broke because they were pretty broken before.
Oh yeah, no, they fucking snap clean off.
Really?
It's just plastic holding these together?
Yeah, see if they go back on. Damn it! Wait, is it recording?
They're under the seat.
Did I get a recording?
Yes, it's recording.
Oh, sick, nice.
So you got my fat ass sitting down on it, and you can hear them crunch, I'm sure.
Pants on when I can put them on. You know what I mean?
What did I just sit on? I just broke the glasses.
Oh, you totally just broke my glasses. Heatwave, can you please sponsor me so my friends that sit and step on my glasses when I'm working on their truck stop breaking all my glasses that I buy from you guys? Thanks, that'd be really cool. But I keep having to buy them because they keep breaking because I keep stepping on them and people keep sitting on them. Did they actually go back on? Oh, Heatwave for the win, look at that. Still good, kinda, maybe.
We'll see.
You might just have to buy me frames. Ah, damn it. Oh, quick delete pants. Oh God. Oh Jesus. It's not even recording. Oh, it is recording. We're good. Hell yeah. Okay. God, I hope you guys got entertained by watching me become 1,000 degrees under here because it's like this little sauna. But so that came out pretty good. You know.
Not too bad.
There you go.
Nice and toasty.
You guys can't read it, but it says 100 right there. But yeah, not too bad. Pretty happy with that. It's a little bit of an awkward angle to film and weld, so. Oh well, I think I'll definitely do the job. Because like I said, this is basically just a shock tab. It's not even, I don't know. Anyways, this looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side. My underwear totally just came off. Oh, it's so much nicer. Heck yeah. That's not how low it's gonna be, as you can see. I'm just filming a clip, don't worry about me.
Oh, okay.
So that looks pretty good. Nice. Fitment in the back looks pretty good too. This is probably pretty close to how it's gonna be. The back has way better fitment than the front. I mean, that looks good. So, definitely stoked with that. But it's definitely too low in the front. That's just how I could get the wheel up in there. It'd probably be about 3 inches lower. It's probably about where it'll sit once we get the new strut. And cut about a coil off of it, coil and a half. Pretty sick. All right guys, so this is where we're at. Truck kind of back on the ground. We're waiting on the lowering block for the rear. But yeah, looks pretty good. Did the front suspension, now it actually has travel. This, like I said, it has this weird strut style suspension. It was bottoming out. Now it actually has suspension travel, which you guys can't really see, but the truck looks pretty good. We're starting to body work, so that's the next video you'll see with this truck. When I come back up here, I don't know, maybe a few weeks or so, we'll come back up here and make the drive out and we'll finish it. But rear end looks pretty good. You guys can see how that's gonna work now. I have tons of clearance, even though it's drooped out, to either move this shackle back up and move the whole shackle system back up, or we'll just run a block. This is a cruiser, it's not a race truck, so you can run a lowering block, it's not a big deal. Front suspension, the same thing, looks pretty good. I don't know what you guys can and can't see, but I don't know. It doesn't really look that great, but I'm pretty happy with at least my support. That looks pretty good. But yeah, I hope you guys are stoked. You learned a couple things about the C-notch, you know, how to do it. It's not too hard. A little bit of labor. It took us probably about 3 days to do the whole thing. So yeah, pretty happy with that. But yeah, I hope you guys are stoked. Like the video if you did enjoy. Leave a comment down below. And I'll see you in the next video with this truck. So we'll see you guys then. Bye guys.